Okay, what's good, everybody? Ave Satanas. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you guys for 6,000 members on the Children of Lucifer's page. It's a real blessing. Thank you guys for all the continued support, and we'll see how far we can take this thing, right? But it's not just come down to the number of people that are on the site, but quantity, the quality of people on this site. So make sure that you are on the groups. Talking with one another in the chat rooms, posting every quality post that you can put up. Right. So thank you guys again. Now, today I want to talk to you guys briefly about an entity that I've worked with, Azazel, and my dealings with him. Now, I have been working with Azazel for going on 3 years now. And I mean, pretty steadily working with him. And I always suggest that you find an entity that you are drawn to and then stay working with that entity. Not saying don't jump around, but if you're going to build a relationship with somebody, think about if you can have one solid relationship with somebody if you spend uh, a Friday night with them hanging out than if you hung out with 50 different people throughout the year. Think about the bonds that you will have with that one person if you hung out with them all the time. Same concept. Now, Azazel, when I called upon Azazel, uh, first of all, his uh, mantra is it's real, it's real, Azazel, or Inya, Onka, Azazel, Ken. I like to say them one next back to with the other. So it's rail, Azazel, Inya, Oinka, Azazel, Ken, and then repeat that over and over again with red and black candles. Red and black candles usually work very well for some reason to burn dragon's blood. And Azazel actually showed up so fast when I first started working with him uh, that he's actually got like a kind of a sense of humor. He started like beating on my walls, uh, maybe like scratching at my walls at times. Things would be uh making noises in my room, and you could feel the presence of Azazel. I actually started smelling things when I started working with Azazel, where it smelled like burning meat almost. That's what it smelled like. And there was times where it smelled like almost like rotting chicken also. And I reached out to somebody, uh, Lucifer from the Satanic Thulin Society, and he warned me that this could be a sign like a snake rattling its tail uh, at me, like a warning sign, which back at this point in time, I was into like Solomonic magic with the circles and all that, and so I stopped using protection circles, and uh, I never really had that problem again with the smells. But blowing out my candles, then uh, the beating on my walls. But it's cool that he was beating my walls because it wasn't like in a musical pattern. But I am a drummer. I've been a drummer my whole life, and I just to me that was a connection that it was like he knew me. Like I could hear thump, 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 like not in a musical pattern, but it's almost like it was like he knew me. Like that's a way to somebody would have got my attention, right? When my son was born, uh, before he could even talk, me and him communicated by banging on like tables, and like he just thought I was like, yeah, yeah, like it's a way of communicating with somebody. And yeah, so Azazel ended up. I'm gonna tell you guys this story. Uh, talking into my ear, and I was laying in bed, and I hear a voice like this. He's whispering very quietly, and in my ear, actually, yeah, this ear. I was in a hotel room and I was actually sharing a hotel room with family members. It was on the pink super moon, like last year over the summer. It was that night, if you guys can remember that. I was down at Myrtle Beach during this period of time, and I was sleep. My son was sleeping next to me, and I was in like a sleep paralysis state, and uh, it I couldn't really get the message real clear because it just kept saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" I'll be like, and I didn't know how to respond back. I just did it like telepathy. I was like, "Yes, I can hear you." It's like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And to this day, I don't know if that was Azazel talking to me or if it was my ex-wife talking to me. But I've to still to this day, I don't know, uh, or what that was. It could have been something different. Something tells me that it was Azazel, and then other times it tells me that it was could have been my ex-wife. The reason I think it was my ex was because this bracelet right here was underneath bed on the right side of my hotel room. And right before my wife passed away, I gave her, had a bracelet like this, and she took it from me. You know how wives will take like your hat or your girl will take your sweatshirt. Well, she took my bracelet and she was wearing it when she passed away. Yeah, it was tragic because now I'm a single father. It was a drug overdose. I tried to get her help and whatnot, but I'm not here to bad talk Jessica. May her soul rest in peace. But that was very strange. That this bracelet, it was just obviously not the exact same one, but it's identical to it. You know what I mean? So what a strange coincidence. But Azazel has this relationship. When I call upon Azazel, Azazel will be there. And Azazel is like a brother to me. He will be somebody that I call upon if I need uh, advice or guidance, somebody to sit there with me, or it, he, he's very knowledgeable. Like he will talk to me or give me like these downloads in my head while I'm sleeping. All my stuff happens when I'm sleeping for whatever reason. Like 90% of the stuff that happens to me spiritually happens to me while I'm sleeping. Like these breakthroughs happen. And I don't know, maybe you guys are with me on that, but when I'm deep in meditation, uh, I have just started to cross this boundary where I can astral project while I am in this very meditated, grounding state. It's much harder for me, and I've only had a handful of these experiences where I can do that while I am uh, awake. But when I'm sleeping, astral projection experience, out of body experiences, or like lucid dreams happen all the time. I have dreams where I can feel them. Like I had a one where a dog bit me, and I thought my arm was tore up. I woke up thinking that I was actually attacked. I ran into the bathroom, and my arm was fine. But uh, I have had these experiences where this entity will take me somewhere, and I will feel a vibrating or a burning sensation all the way through my body. I've had where Niyama shows up, Nama, however you want to say her name, and we have she's my astral girlfriend, and we've had sex in the astral realm, and I can feel absolutely everything: her hair, her breath, her lips, her skin, everything. Like it's pretty impressive. But but Azazel has also met me in the astral realm, and for whatever reason, like he has very pale skin to me, very jet black, black black hair, very straight, long, uh, clean shaven. Uh, he was wearing like this belt over and like these pennants hanging off around his belt. He's shirtless, very chiseled. He's no stranger to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, and very friendly though, very friendly. And never once have I ever heard his voice, but he'll talk to you like communicate telepathy through you, and there will be like multiple voices. sounds in my head like a child's voice and a very deep man's voice like this, very deep, and it sounds like almost like a child or a woman's voice also. So it and they almost like are in sync with each other at times, like or there will be like just a slight echo one behind the other. Very strange, but Azazel, he's been great to me. For whatever reason, he was the first entity I actually made contact with. Um, I tried Lucifer, which I had made contact with Lucifer, but not like this, and not. It was the first time I ever actually made contact with something physically, and then but I tried like uh Abaddon, Mammon, Baal, Satan, but Zazel was the first one that physically showed up to me, and then Lucifer was next, and then I'll tell you guys the stories after that. But if you never worked with Azazel, try reaching out to him. And I can't be like, don't of course be nice to all these people. You never want to just introduce yourself like an asshole, but whenever somebody tells you, you can work with this deity, but uh, be real careful with dealing with them. Like that's a red flag. If you knew somebody, like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to a buddy of mine, but be careful how you talk to him. Like he could be a real asshole. Like who would want to deal with that, right? These people, these entities are just like us, except they are on a higher plane of existence. And knowing Azazel will show up when you talk to him. I have a buddy, and he calls him Nick, and I can understand why he calls him Nick. That name just kind of fits. And uh, through another, oh, quick, I've already mentioned him, Lucifer from the late Satanic Thorn Society, says that he actually works with him through like sci-fi movies. Like he's a real like nerdy geek when it comes to ash- uh, these like sci-fi shows, like Star Trek. I think he said, and I tried to actually put on Star Trek when I was like in meditation with him. I can't say that I actually had any experience, any different, like a more intense experience from that, but I'm just telling you what I have heard people say about him. So anyway, Uh, thank you guys again for all the support. 6,000 members, that's incredible. But it's not about the quantity, quality. Keep up with all the chats, liking, comment, posting, be in the chat room, guys. And I really help. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support that you guys have given me. All right. Ave Satanas, hail Satan, hail yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.